moderator and watching us. Madam, we are here to news that she's live on here. You taught us and it's what we are in position to put in execution. Allow me some this topic in the shortest time possible. I'm going to sum it socially, economically, and politically. As far as political is concerned, we all aware for the people who have grown up in Jinja that lane between Narambai and the hospital, it was a home of hooligans. But after the arrival of Mubbs, security threats have been put on a standstill, and we can assure you that right now as we talk, there are no many deaths that are being experienced there. Mr. Mubi, I think you also used to know that place between the hospital lane and the Narambai on a standstill. Two, another issue, what Mubbs has done to the community politically, we all aware that right now as we talk, around 65% is on record that as members of parliament and the leadership offices, the like Chalo, Jimmy Rwanga is a product of Mubbs, and we are proud of it, that Mubbs is not only mentoring people for just around where it is, but even in the outside world. Socially, we all aware that Mubbs has mentored some pastors. Even religious leaders, likes of even the Muslim fraternity.
Let me testify, because we have our finance manager here, Esther Sana. She's a product of Mubbs.
Thank you.
That's what you want to comment.
That even some religious leaders have passed through Mubbs. We even have a certain father who is doing a master's. He's called Father. He prays at Our Lady of Fatima. Is one of the leaders. So with even the sheikhs, they are there, the Muslim leaders. So Mubbs is not a joking place. Okay. But no, I've not even completed the.
But you have not completed. But I work on time.
But the economical side of it. But you see who interfered me.
Excuse me, I stated clearly. You used 3 minutes. If you use it precisely, it is upon you. If you use
30 seconds, I submit, sir.
Okay, I give you 30 seconds.
30 seconds. As far as economic is concerned, we all aware that every time some of these lecturers are being drafted to Jinja or are being transferred to Jinja, sometimes they don't come with their wives, but life has to move on. Sometimes they don't come with their saucepans, but they have to cook. We all aware that Jinja's economical status has been improved because of Mubbs. We all aware that these are working class people. They are earning. What do? They add value addition to the economy of Jinja. These are actually our dear director is always into the corporate social responsibility. It's also because of the inversion of Mubbs. So what do I say? Mubbs has done a lot politically, socially, and economically. Thank you, Mr. Moderator. I made Sweet Life and representing National Unity Platform.
When you mentioned that they don't come with their way. Your discussion is about the alumni. Alumni. I know most of you are interested in alumni. I don't know whether you understand it better than me, because I'm an alumni of a certain university. Every academic year, students graduate. The first person to answer this is Mr. Samuel Calvin. The microphone should be near you. What are your plans for such students who have completed and would love to be part of the university always, or want to remain part of the university as a guilty prime minister?
Thank you so much, moderator. When it gets to that section of being an alumni of the institution and you want to remain there, there is no shortcut when it comes to that, unless when you start up your own business around, that's when you can keep around. If not so, you have to wait. There's no shortcut to that. It's the yes.
Okay. Thank Mr. Kintu, your microphone. Do you love to be part, and they would love to be part of the university?
Okay, thank you very much. First of all,
your colleague said the administration has a say over that. I want to hear from you.
First of all, alumni is, like, in simple terms, for those who are listening to us, like, they are the OBs and the OGs of the university, in simple terms. So these people, after finishing campus, we need to create that leak and we can be able second semester. Very nice activity, and I would like to encourage all third years listening to me, please tune in every Saturday to listen to Professor, because he has words
of the university.
As a reality, there are some things we don't have to just look at and say. In life moves by facts. Right? Okay. So, some of the alumni who are being retained, they are being retained in order to show how alumni are being retained on issues of, there are some sportsmen and sports ladies. So what do I say when I come into leadership at Mubbs? We want to say that if in case we come into the leadership of Mubbs, we want to liaise with the administration that some of these programs do register a lot of success. And we all aware, Mr. Moderator, I want to let our listeners and my fellow academicians at Mubbs for them that this is where, much as you are even the procurement office of this university, because we even have one who is from Mubbs, a procurement officer, taking a very big office, moreover at Mubbs, as with this one are facts. We have to make them and look for them. Even the state mayor, right now, he has something he has ever done at office. So what am I trying to say? It needs to be someone with some good skills of negotiating powers, negotiating ability, negotiating techniques. For now to look for those people.
Your time is done. Mr. Kiredi, Emmanuel.
Yes,
the same question. Can you please tell us how you intend, which plans do you have for those who have completed studies at Mubbs?
Thank you so much. Once again, in Mubbs, Ginger, there is already a system that has been going on of a read. Is there must be a need, there must be a requirement that the administrators must agree on. So we may not have a very high upper hand to do that, but I would love to inform that in this link, because Mubbs Ginger Campus or Mubbs prepares people, one, to be self-sustaining, to begin their own jobs. Number two, if they are working somewhere, they're excellent. The way how they train us, always they lead. Now, the reason why we are going to form this group is to make sure that our fellow alumni, the friends who are maybe walking on the streets looking for jobs, we want to make a link that we just have to connect them somewhere they can go, because there are very many. We cannot say that all of them can come and converge around Mubbs. There are very many. Okay. Every year we produce very many students. So the most important thing is to influence these friends, to get friends, connections, such that even like now we are going for internship, such that the places where we connect them, they are able maybe to retain them and have them work. Or we go ahead and train them that I've written down here.
Near 30 seconds.
Yeah. We are looking at equipping them with skills such that if they come out of university, if they have not retained while they are looking for some things to do, these things can help them have a safe pocket home, while this group can help them to link them somewhere else.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kiredi Emmanuel, for that submission. Let me take some seconds and I go through some messages before I go to another area of discussion. I have here a lot of messages that have been sent here via text messages on studio lines. The first one, this one says, thank you, Mr. Julius, moderator. This is Daniel, BBA2. On the issue of health, I have not heard any candidate talk about the new clinic at YMCA, because so many people are having hard time to access the one we have at Narambai. Majority of those who are studying at YMCA, that is a concern from Daniel, a Bachelor of, I think, Business Administration year 2 from Mubbs. This one says, I'm Gisha Joseph Jaras aspirant, BPS, I don't know, Bachelor
Procurement, supply and chain manager.
That one, no. Actually, that one. My question to our leaders to be is, assuming a student approached you with the challenge of sexual harassment from a lecturer, who has threatened to give her a retake, but you need to save this student in addition to keeping the reputation of the lecturer. How would you? I think the message is incomplete, but we shall have to look at it. This one says, I'm Humphrey Arigo, a student of Human Resource Management, Year 2, Mubbs Jinja Campus. I wish to give credit to our upcoming and so regards to our director. That's a message. Yeah, I have many messages here. I think I'm going to go through all of them, but let me first finish this one also. This one says, I am hello, I am Yahweh Faz Mayor to be in German municipality 2020 from Naminya. Thank you for hosting these candidates to represent themselves. I have liked them. That man of NUP is a good man and his representation is good also. Keep it up. This one says, greeting to Pastor Kiredi. Hey, Kiredi is a pastor. We love you, Global Family. Edith Global Mayuge. Thank you, Edith. The other one was from Hoya. Then I can go for those who are online. The messages. Okay. Those who are on Zoom. The radio, I think it was on, and we have worked on. This one was, remember, well, administration is a good president. Okay. Please let the question be direct. I'm Philip, a former prime. This goes to all candidates. How are they going to help Mubbs Ginger to attract more students to come and study at Mubbs Ginger? That is for not forgetting your institution, Mr. Philip, former Prime Minister. Area of discussion is co-cultural activities. Co-cultural activities. I think if we talk of co-cultural activities, I've heard you how Mubbs is giving bursaries, how Mubbs is doing ABCD. Now we turn our attention to co-cultural activities. Now the microphone goes to Mr. Kintu. The microphone should be near you. Mr. Kintu.
Yes.
I don't know whether you were a football player or you were an Arsenal fan or Man U fan, because those are rivals in Uganda here. So when you look at other universities, how do you rate co-cultural activities at Mubbs campus, Ginger campus? And what do you intend to do? Because we have what university leagues, they happen. So as a good Prime Minister, tell us your plan is as far as co-cultural activities are concerned.
Into the UID aspirant and flag bearer.
You have also mentioned it.
All right, back to the question. You have talked about co-curricular activities in a way that are still young and re-emphasized more through our Games and Sports Department or Ministry. These games create a lot of bondness, especially games like football, netball. Currently, we don't have basketball, yet we have people there who are potential in basketball. And I feel that if we can bring these games on board, in my leadership, is at their best. So co-curricular activities, I promise the Mubbs students we are going to put them on board.
Question. Co-curricular activity.
Thank you.
What are your plans?
Yeah, I'll
in comparison with other universities, because there are those universities every year
doing right now. For this activity, I was commissioned around 3 semesters back by our beloved director, Dr. Veronica Muchala. That we had a meeting and she commissioned me to look for students, and it's what I'm doing right now. If you sort of the issue of...
So you're an ambassador?
I'm an ambassador already. Not ambassador, an ambassador, but already an ambassador doing my work. And Madam Director, I'm already coming to your office for my commission, because at least I've somehow worked. If in case you go to the registrar's office, at least they can testify that my work, I'm doing it. When we sort out the issue of population increment at Mubbs, some of these issues are going to be unnecessary to tell. Because as a reality, if in case the population, just go and look at like the likes of GNGSS and JIPRA, they have the population to participate in each and every activity that comes. But last time we just had our sports gala, and you could see one doing around 4 activities. What does it imply? That people who can participate, the population is small. So when I become the Prime Minister elect, God willing, because at least even the inner man is telling me that is already made, I take it. Isn't so? when we sort out the population, and you say that at least Mubbs is having around 3,000, 5,000 students, this issue of getting who represents who goes where is actually, even these people who want to pray for Mubbs, they will compete, not being convinced to pray for us. So what, when I become the prime minister, let's sort out the issue of population. After sorting out the issue of population, these activities are going to boom. Because we cannot take away the fact that Mubbs is still a growing university. And amidst that, even COVID hit us below the belly. That COVID was a real stagnant issue. That made us not move effectively as the way we had thought about it. But coming in office, I have a feeling that I have been taught well and mentored well by the Mubbs as far as marketing strategies are concerned. I can negotiate for Mubbs. I can liaise on big platforms for Mubbs. At least even if the moderator right now, you can at least testify that I can talk something for Mubbs. Thank you. I rest my case.
Thank you, Mr. Kiswiriri Ivan. I turn the microphone to Mr. Kireri Emmanuel for the same question. Co-cultural activities. You know very well, in your conversation, you people, you mentioned about the waiver Mubbs gives to those people who are excellent in co-cultural. So how do you plan to activate or to accelerate co-cultural activities during your tenure as the Guilty Prime Minister?
Oh, thank you so much, brother, once again, for giving me this opportunity to lay something down. Actually, I have been following sports at Mubbs, and I've realized some few weaknesses that we need to empower. Sometimes sports is not on time. So I am going to do the following things. Number one, I'm going to find out why this has been happening. Because I got source, but the source is not much. I want to find out why. Okay, we have more than 500 children at Mubbs. I think that number can participate, but I want to really to find out by the director and the administration of Mubbs. I can lobby for such support, such that at least all these activities not financed and they clarify it about me. I will have to come in and we sit on a round table with the administrators. Let us influence it, because most of these people come talented. So if their talent are not dying from here, it means that maybe they go somewhere that they can expose their talents. Because one of the reasons that can also boost the big numbers is these co-cultural activities. Okay. Some students are totally talented from secondaries. So when they look at the program and they are not considered here, they can go to a university where they think the activities are there. So I want to make sure that as we sit and find out what is real behind this, we shall lobby, we shall influence, we shall share, such that even other learners are attracted to join our great campus. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kireri Emmanuel. Can I turn the microphone to Mr. Semiaro Calvin for the same question? Co-cultural activities. We know universities are the epitome of co-cultural activities, where you find greater men who are actually good in running, what. So how do you plan to accelerate co-cultural activities during your tenure as the Guilty Prime Minister, Mubbs Jinja campus?
Thank you so much, moderator. As we all know that sports is a way of uniting all parties, be it someone is NUP, be it NRM, be it whatever, say it all. Even if this person is, for example, they're from a different region, sports can unite them. So under my manifesto, it's by setting up more games. And these games, we have to get in touch with the different GRCs so that each program can come up with a team that they trust. And it is from these teams that we can as well get an institution team which can be selected by the sports tutor, that is Haji Abdunul Kawoya, who can as well get in touch with the administration, and we go out there to the different secondary schools and we exhibit the talents that we have at the moment, and as well get to spot to the different talents, which talents can have a big impact onto the institution as per the numbers and the sports side of it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I hope everyone has answered that question. And the viewers, the listeners, especially those at Mubbs, you are following. I can interject in with some messages because I think I will be doing like that. This one says, good morning, sir. I'm Izimba from Mubbs Ginger. We support you, Emmanuel. Which Emmanuel? I don't know. And we have seen that you have your intellectual capacity is high. Working for you, working for change. Thank you for the message. The message is, I said you are free to send a message so long as it is not abusive. Send a message that is actually follows the guidelines as we are discussing here. Whoever is listening to us, we thank you. We have other messages here. I have here Michael Esenyu. Let me start with Mike Esenyu here. Says, I am Mike Esenyu. I want to put across to candidates that sexual harassment is not practiced by only lecturers. We have students too who do sexual harassment to fellow students. I think you need to take note of that as good aspirants. Another one says Joseph Mugisha, who says, hello, moderator Joseph Mugisha here too. I would like to our leaders to tell us what is the mission, what is Mubbs vision, not mission, and how does your plan for office occur with this plan? Thank you. That is Joseph Mugisha. Yeah, those are messages. I think you are taking keen note of such points because I will not be reminding you, but in the last good closing remarks, I would expect you to be attending to that. Let's go to another point of area of discussion. Area of discussion, I think on this area of discussion, we shall use 2 minutes each. Another area of discussion is about the digital world. We know very well currently where we are when we talk of the digital world. When I see these people are moving here, the IT person of Mubbs is moving with everything here. I can see Shadrach Akade, I can see Kaimada and other people. There's what we call the digital world. The digital world, the question goes, and the first person to answer this, this is Suri, I think. Okay. Yeah, everyone is running away. I know it's the same question, don't worry. So when we talk of the digital world, we talk of innovation and technology. As guild aspirant, we expect that you are now aware of the digital world. So how do you intend to create an environment for innovation in this digital world during your leadership as a good Prime Minister? I start with Mr. Semiar Kelvin.
I beg your pardon, when to the...
We are in the digital world.
Yes.
How do you intend to create an environment for innovation and technology in this digital world during your leadership at Mubbs Ginger campus? Let me make it precise.
Thank you very much, moderator.
And you cite for us areas where you think it is necessary.
The digital world as it goes, that is looking onto the different technologies. Good enough, I was in this regime that embraced the Mubbs. That was the Waiswa's regime. So now, being that here we are talking of innovation, I urge the students of the institution, they are free to come in and they can start with apps. If at all they are good at the coding, that is too much onto the business computing students, because at least they have this knowledge of coding, the JavaScript and etc. So you can feel free ventures. As for example, I have one of the students who is our former student. He came up with Lubs Media, and he's making some small money there. You can get it via via the Play Store. It's Mubbs Media. He advertises even there. So I call upon more students to come up with such.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chintu. The microphone is yours.
Okay.
The same question. We are in a digital world. Can you tell us how you intend to create an environment for innovation and technology in this digital era, especially at Mubbs Jinja campus, to your fellow students or the whole community during your tenure as Guilty Prime Minister?
All right. Thank you very much. First of all, at Mubbs Jinja campus, we need to create digital awareness and sensitization of these students of how we are going to embrace ICT, the uses of ICT, and how it can benefit Mubbs Jinja as a whole. Because we are having issues, people are using, we usually have a common website called Mubbs, but some freshers are not aware of how to use it. It has some technical glitches, and I feel that the Students Guild needs to come in and sensitize these students on how to use Mubbs. 2, I would like to appreciate the previous guild because it's during their tenure that a club or an association called Sika Mubbs came into existence. And this is, Sika is all related about ICT. And but my main issue about these clubs is that they are becoming manufacturing clubs instead of being educative and supportive, in that people are elected into position for these clubs, but they don't do anything. They wait for handover. They ask people for certificates, people giving their money and all that. So I feel that these people need to be energized by the guild to do work, to serve their people, because these clubs are there to advocate for knowledge, to advocate, to add on to the students. It's not just a matter of getting a certificate and going away. No. Thirdly, I feel that the administration should allow the guild, or should help the guild, to install Wi-Fi, because currently we only have Wi-Fi at Narambai. We don't have Wi-Fi at YMCA. Yet, most of the students this semester are studying from YMCA. So, how are we going to entice research, yet things like Wi-Fi are not in place? So I feel that Mubbs, to its standard, we can do better in terms of Wi-Fi. Fourthly, we need to embrace on e-learning and e-booking and e-library. I feel that it's high time Mubbs Jinja campus should embrace the e-library learning and the e-library access to books. Why? Because here, students can access these books online and at any time without getting interruptions of going again to the library and going through some methodologies that are a little bit bureaucratic and hectic. So I feel that through e-learning, we can make Mubbs a better place.
Thank you. Your 2 minutes are being used with an extra of almost a minute, but okay. Mr. Kiswiri Ivan.
Yes, sir.
Here comes the same question to you. We are in the digital world and we are talking of innovation, technology and innovation. So what do you intend to do? What kind of environment are you going to create for the innovators at Mubbs Jinja campus during your tenure as a good Prime Minister?
Thank you, Senior. I'm the only student who attended a blockchain conference in Nakawa.
The only one?
Amongst the aspirants.
Are you sure?
You defend yourself. You know, you had your time. I'm the only student who attended the blockchain conference in Kampala. It was all about e-learning. Just last week we had another e-procurement conference. So that shows the love, passion, the enticement I have for the e-learning or anything concerning with or online. So what do I say? When I'm elected the Prime Minister of Jinja Mubbs campus, I'm going to become a disturbing obstacle as far as the love for e-learning or online issues is concerned. I want to let the administration be aware that when I'm elected the Prime Minister of Mubbs, Every time I will be talking about computers. That shows how much I'm in love for it. Because as a reality, one time I was honored to be addressed by our beloved principal as principal and the same time a professor. He told us the advantages or the benefits of e-learning. For us in Uganda, depending on our financial muscle, you may not afford to get a degree or a bachelor's program from Oxford, from Cambridge, but by online you can afford one by not putting in what? Air ticket, visa, and what have you, just because of being online or studying online. And what do we say? Online is so vital. It has to be embraced by all. Another issue is, as far as online is concerned, it can be a source of income. Like this brother of ours here is surviving because of online. So not only him, even my brother Shadrach. Online, actually, I don't know you, Mr. Julius.
Okay, thank you. Your 2 minutes are done, and we shift to Mr. Kireri Emmanuel. Mr. Kireri Emmanuel, the same question comes to you. When we talk of digital world, we talk of the innovators, we talk of the people who are in this digital era. As Mubbs, where you studying, what are you going to put in place to make sure the innovators, like you are talking of Ziti Mubbseke, how are you going to make them accelerate their innovation and make sure that all the students who are at Mubbs campus, they believe that indeed we have a good prime minister who is a good innovator?
Thank you so much, Bwana Julius. Once again, Mubbs, just like Brother Derek was saying, Mubbs is one of the known universities in the whole world. And if our technology is down at Mubbs, it should sound a shame. Why? If a student is coming out of Mubbs, he must be updated with the technology that is updated. What does it mean? We need, as Mubbs, we need to influence the administrators, first of all, to equip the university with these technology machines. Because we can look at all doing other things, but unless we have purchased such gadgets that will help us access internet, that will help us uplift technology, these learners will now be able to translate it, to learn, to hear, so to get it directly from this. Because we may not know it because we don't have it. So updated gadgets will help us, one, to make sure that every student who leaves Makerere University shall not be ashamed to any organization where he is going. Okay. But it will be a solution. They will not need again to retrain him. He will train others. That's one thing that Makerere University has to do. So, and we cannot just go direct there. We need to settle with the administrators and ask why and what is needed to make sure that we lift up our university to benefit every student in Mubbs.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Very much. Thank you, our viewers. Thank you, our listeners who are listening in from different platforms. To remind you, Mubbs is headed by Professor Waswa Barunywa, the person who by 1st May 2023 received the distinguished order of the Nile. I think that's of the Nile. The medal which was awarded by the President of the Republic of Uganda during this International Labour Day celebration is held in Namutumba district, and is the person who is behind actually Mubbs, the Distinguished Order of the Nile. That medal, I think you need to applaud him. You can't clap for your principal.
Yeah, Mr. Julius, you want it to sound as if you're forcing us. We are students. You want us to be expelled from campus.
Yeah, thank you very much. Whoever is following us, thank you very much. I interrupt with some messages. Someone says this is Isaac Bill. BSA is Bachelor of Science
in Accounting.
Science and Accounting too. I just want to salute all my candidates and wish them the best. Very good. On our community, you are always candidates. So, and is wishing you the best. There are some other messages on Zoom. We can also go through them if they happen to be there. We can go through all the messages. We don't want any person to be left behind before we shift to another area of discussion. I will allow in some 5 to 10 callers, but the procedure of calls, because we may not have time to answer questions, I will need your comment. If you call, you tell us your name, where you're calling from, and you tell us your comment in just 30 seconds. There is no need to say, you see, give me time. So I will open the calls afterwards. But before I open the call, let me move out of Mubbs briefly, because I need to know these people. You are leaders tomorrow. Somebody told me that he's going to be the president in 14 years, 15 years. So I asked that question. In Uganda, I'm not sure whether it is easy to be president in Uganda unless you are. So I will combine this question. It is all about governance. Governance and national politics. You are Mubbs. When you hear Mubbs, Makerere University business, that element of business comes in play. Currently, the list or the latest 2021 GDP per capita is of Uganda is US dollar 883.89. I think you are aware of that. And our debt, public debt ceiling, I think it has gone beyond 50%. If you are in the public domain, that is approximate, I think, 86.1 trillion according to the Auditor General's report.
I never wanted to laugh, but
so let's come to the GDP per capita, the money that represents how people are earning,
the monetary value
you get it?
of an economy.
Do you think it is $883.89 of 2021 a representation of the outlook of the country, or it is just a mere say? And how do you intend to convince the people who are studying at Mubbs that yes, the GDP per capita income of this country is either accelerating or decelerating? I will start with it.
You start with Daniel Mumane.
No, I'm in the studio. Everyone is fearing the microphone. So.
No, the order. We have an order we are following.
So the order is
the order is Daniel Mumane.
So can we save time? 1 minute at a go. We want to comment on the national issues. 1 minute. Can you start, Mr. Kintu? Do you think this is a representation of the outlook according to the
first of all,
because you are studying Mubbs business school.
We are doing economics.
Yes.
And I understand the economic bit of it.
Yeah.
But first of all,
yeah, give 1 minute is enough.
Yeah, I would like to say that it may be truthful, it may be not, because there are some technicalities that need to be addressed when you are calculating GDP, and I feel that in Uganda we haven't yet achieved that technical approach. But basing on these figures, it really alarms us because currently we are not doing well economically.
Okay.
It is seen, but all this goes back to us, the student, the community as large, because we are electing leaders who are not effective, who are not giving effective service, who are not making economic decisions that are going to impact onto the lives of a commoner out there who is in maybe in a peer market. You understand? So these people are egoistic.
1 minute. Kiswahili, 1 minute on the economy.
Thank you, sir.
On the GDP per capita income.
Thank you, sir. IT man, are you ready? Thank you, sir. There is a certain book called the Consequences of Poor Leadership. Every decision that is made has a consequence. We all, a leader buys you like a commodity. What do you expect? Will that leader be accountable to you? Because we even have some aspirants who are buying voters like commodities or products.
Amongst you?
That is it, without fear or favor. But you told us not to go that way.
I said
but
amongst you. I just
should we go there?
No, as I saw about that.
So, when we look at this, last time, it should be brought light that one time, our fountain of honor, His Excellency, claimed that Uganda has reached middle income. Yet, there are methodologies or criteria how a country reaches a middle status position. We all aware that it's only World Bank or IMF that is responsible for elevating a country from a certain level to a certain level. These figures are coming from where? From IMF, World Bank, which means that we are doing bad love. Aren't we doing bad love?
You are not telling us now.
No, but of course we have to be factual. Even you, the way you are feeling the pinch of of the petrol when you fueling it is alarming. So what do we say? In Uganda, when we still have issues of when mabatis are being stolen, this is not a surprise.
Your 1 minute is all done. Mr. Kireri. The same thing.
Thank you so much. Actually, when I look at this, it's so alarming. I am not technical in this, to be sincere. I'm not so technical. And the technical people that raised it, surely it is alarming. As Ugandans, and we want to speak to our leaders over this, to look for a way how they can bail out Ugandans out of this. Because one, it is alarming. I cannot even foretell whether it will reduce or will go high, because the technical people in offices, one, they do it, others with biasness, others they do it because they are instructed. So it is very difficult now to convince a Ugandan or any leader who is listening to me whether this thing will raise or will come down. So we need, mostly we need to pray for our country to make sure that at least they do the right thing for every Ugandan to benefit. Thank you so much.
Mr. Kelvin?
Any other man has the solution.
You can take me through the question once again.
The question is about the the narratives that the GDP per capita is $883.89 dollars. You get it?
Yes.
And we are seeing the Dr. General's report, the latest one is giving 86.6, I think, trillion as a
I will say I cannot refuse the computations.
Okay.
However much there are some areas they might have not reached due to transport issues.
Okay, thank you very much. I will go to the last question outside Mubbs. The last question about it is about some laws that are passed in this country, and I would love you to respond precisely. Currently, there is a law that has been passed in Parliament. Previously, it was passed last month, and yesterday it was passed.
Yes.
The anti-homosexuality bill. As a student leader, how do you intend to enforce that law if sent by the president? I'll start by with Chireri.
Thank you so much, Bwana Julius, once again. Being a Christian and a Bible reader, I support this law. Uganda is a Christian country, and we hate this homosexuality from our point of view. We don't want it to sound in schools. And if anyone is spotted out, like in our Mubbs University, we need to open our eyes immediately and report such cases to police.
Okay.
Because if it begins with one, it means that it may saturate, does not allow homosexuality. And as a man of God and as a Christian, I oppose it in Jesus' name. Thank you so much.
Thank you. 1 minute, Mr. Calvin.
Thank you so much.
How are we going to enforce the homosexuality?
Then we have to abide by the law. And here we have to sensitize the students onto the cultures as Ugandans.
Thank you. Mr.
Zakaria Serada, in the previous, I think 2 weeks, he had a walk against homosexuality. I'd like to applaud him for that. I'm a Christian, and I deeply condemn homosexuality, and I believe it should be condemned, and if anyone is caught into this act, they should be removed from society and isolated, because if there is a bad tomato into the good tomatoes, you have to remove the bad one and isolate it.
Okay.
And second of all, I would like to encourage our fellow brothers to keep in Christ.
Actually, 1 minute also on the same question. How do you intend to enforce?
Thank you, sir, Mr. Moderator.
Not to implement.
Yeah, I, as a dog, what about a human being whom God created to be the overseer of all the animals, all the creatures created on earth? Okay. And everyone who does it, who participates in extending some man of homosexuality, is doing bad, and we are all aware of it.
Thank you. They have to utilize the academic associations and the different seminars that are being set up by these academic associations. As well, we have to bring these particular people who have received the awards to talk to the students and give them the different tactics here and there on how they made it where they are. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr.
Campus is not doing better than Mubbs main campus, because at Ginger campus we have the best reading environment that you'll ever find in the whole world. Okay. So I believe that first of all, a methodology of how we revamp our associations, our student associations, because I feel and I know really reaching down onto the discussion do help a lot, and people who are doing.
Thank you, Mr. Kiswiri Ivan.
Going to follow me. How and performing students, how they do it. To him, excellent people. Not saying that I know you, where do you come?
Thank you.
Even if your CGP is not doing that.
And choose one candidate. You're good. So I start with Kiswiri. You ask the best candidate you would love to ask a question.
Why are you looking at Mr. Kelvin? My question goes to Mr. Emmanuel Chireri.
Thank you so much.
Who is be a success?
Thank you so much. Time is a resource. It is very hard to demonstrate it, but I want to assure you, with the time is the richest currency that man has. If you joke around with time, especially in business, in Mubbs, we want to see money, we want to count money. If anybody is in Mubbs and does not have the mind of money, he is in a wrong place. Why? Business must fetch profits or wealth maximization. So if you hear any man say he's joking about time is very important. So this is what I can do. I want to use my example because I told you my motto is time is a resource. If there is anything I want to do on earth now, and for what the Lord has given me so far, I have honored time and I have received a lot of things. So that very thing that I'm going to make sure that I trim everyone, especially the people shall be having meeting with. Those are the very first people that will also now send it to others.
It's the same Mugun.
Thank you so much.
You can ask the same person or another candidate. No. But everyone has to ask.
Yeah.
But
Mr. activities are delayed at university because of finances. I don't know, other release delayed. What would you love to do to improve that, such that the resources are sent to the account of the guild in time, such that activities run on smoothly without interfering with the other school activities? Thank you, brother.
Mr. Derek Kintu.
Okay. Thank you very much for that question. When I'm elected into office, I know this is a problem because the previous few guilds have been having a problem of financial independence. That when the tenure is about to end and stuff like that. So, in my government, we need to establish financial independence. It must have a generating source of income that is able to bring in some extra money to revamp or to support school activities that are ongoing. 2, we have different companies here, and we can lobby, we can source out, we can go and write letters to these people, because I've ever participated into that, because I'm a treasurer of Basogan Center Mubbs Ginger, and we have done that collection and mobilization of funds from the various companies and banks around. That chance to also get some finances for the guild.
You can ask a question of the kind of your choice.
Okay.
Our play is very busy laughing. Thank you.
My question goes to Honorable Calvin. What special cake do you have if elected into the guild prime ministerial position? What cake do you have for Mubbs students as a whole?
As I introduce myself, Samuel Calvin from the NRM party. So, when it comes to when I'm into office, number 1, I am going to unite all students through refurnishing the different associations which are on board. And as well, I'm looking at introducing a sport that is rugby, and it will come at an early stage of tag rugby. Yes.
Thank you. You can ask a question of candidate of your choice. I know one candidate has not been asked a question. He's looking and saying, I may not survive with this.
So I have a two-in-one question.
To who?
Ivan Chiswili. So it's a two-in-one.
Yeah.
When was the Mubbs constitution last amended, and as well, how many programs do we have here at Mubbs Ginger? Thank you.
Thank you. Programs are many, and programs are being introduced. Because right now, as we talk, there are some other programs that have been introduced, but they may not be right now at what? They are the timetable, but we are actually into this academic enrollment. There are even some programs you don't know.
Just answer the question as
I'm asking. As we talk, an August intake, other programs are coming on board. But so far, we could be having around 12.
Okay.
Thank you.
About the constitution, when was it last amended?
The constitution,
Yes.
the last amendment. It was last semester.
Okay, I think the listeners you've heard and the viewers you've heard from these candidates. Can I have the messages now? I have this one says, thank you, Mr. Julius, for hosting our aspirants. Now, Mubbs Ginger campus students I've heard from the candidates and they want to make regrets after voting. I remain Tizom George, former Education Minister, 2021-2022. Thank you for being part of the show, Mr. Tizom George. This one says a question. In the just concluded Mubbs, okay, I've gotten this. I think I've answered it. That has been answered. Then there's Zimba. There's our question, please. Our question, please, moderators. I think I told you to note those questions. There is one from Zoom. Thanks for the show, Mr. Moderator. I would like to ask the aspirant prime ministers about the sexual harassment. How are you going to address this problem whereby students are the one who's giving money to lecturers to give them marks? Need answers. Thanks. I think you're noting that. I wish to ask all candidates for their inputs, and they have shown that us that they are all capable. I wish all of them the success. Another question. I think the questions are there. I think you have taken note of some of those questions. So can I have some few callers before we go? We close this session. 0703 921 921, 0703 921 921, or 0786 77 2621. 0786772621. So you be precise. Your name and your comment, please. Okay? Opia FM.
Yes, Opio FM. This is the Philip,
Yes,
former
please.
prime.
Philip calling from where?
From Ginger Town here. I'm the former prime.
Yes, former Prime Minister.
I want to appreciate my brothers for the show.
Okay?
But my advice is they should know that they are going to serve, not for any other thing. And above all, let them have the correct attitude. Attitude is very important when you're executing your service as a leader.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Philip. Opia FM.
Hello.
Yes, please.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yes, please.
This is Omongole Bernard, procurement. Yeah.
Omongo.
Yes, I want to appreciate you, Mr. Julius,
Thank you.
for the wonderful work you have done.
Thank you.
And I believe good Ginger campus now knows whom to vote come Prelude.
Okay.
And to also appreciate the candidates for giving out their views.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Opia FM.
Hello.
Hello.
Bwana Julius,
Yes, please.
thank you for the show.
You're welcome.
This is Rosalilwa Samuel Ohita,
Yes, Vasalwa.
well known as the HB artist, the senior painter here in Jinja.
Okay.
All the way from Namulesa along Jinja Kamoli Highway.
Your comment.
Actually, thanks for bringing those people to the studios.
Mm.
And what I think, Bwana Julius, you've even got a chance to see my mentor, to see my teacher. That is none other than Emerson Kireri Kira.
Hey.
Emerson Kireri is my teacher who taught me from senior 1 up to senior 6.
Okay.
And he mentored me and brought me up in a good way, and he made me what I am today.
Okay.
My question goes, I heard someone in the name of Kelvin. Mr. Kelvin told us that he is going to approach upon the movie via issues of security. What he is trying to mean, they have not been having security at the campus up to now.
Thank you.
Then another question as I'm finishing. How will they try to mobilize some people down in this way on the ground? Because people down in the ground, they know, according to their minds, so they change the mindset of the people down this way. Because some of the people know Mubbs as an institution, not as a university. How shall they, as the prime ministers of the campus, try to change the mindset of the people down this way on the ground? They remain HB artists, the senior painter waiting is my teacher here.
Thank you. Up your film?
Hello,
Yes, please.
this is Arunda Owoli,
Yes, Owoli.
Human Resource Management Council.
Yes, Owoli.
I wish to inform Mr. Derek that we have a Wi-Fi at YMCA.
Mm-hmm.
And then, secondly, I wish to inform Mr. Ivan that the blog conference that he says I was in, but live streaming. So when we are talking, let's believe in empirical evidence. I wish my case, and I belong to Mr. Emma, Prime Minister.
Okay, thank you. Up your film?
No.
Yes, please. Yes, please. You are live?
Now,
This
I
is
want
this is who?
to Mr. Fortune, the tailor from Namulesa.
Yes, Mr. Fortin.
Yeah, those people now, they are but what I want is that we let them put them in what because after now asking for votes again, wait now later they again don't follow their what again they leave them, they don't do. So I just want to encourage that let them and put them in order and just shoot them.
Okay, thank you very much. I rest the case of phone calls and I come back to studio. Can I give each 1 minute? You answer where you find they have asked area of interest, especially there are those people who are concerned with sexual harassment, where students you are seducing lecturers also. So can I have, and people commented about the clinic at YMCA. You are talking about the clinic at Gundi, at Nalambai, but not YMCA. So can we have that, please?
Thank you so much.
You have 2 minutes.
Let me start with the person who said about sexual harassment. This person attached something called money. And if you are the student giving the lecturer money, that is no longer sexual harassment. That is now a money game. So that one is out. When we come to the security, it is not that we do not have security at campus. The issue is adding on what we have at campus.
Okay.
Like to make it stronger. For the clinic, they are still modifying the one that is here. And once the space at YMCA is there, they will also station one there. But if at all the space is not allowing, we shall stick at Narambai. Okay. Then the first aid teams are the ones that will be everywhere. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Mr. Derek?
Thank you very much for that opportunity. I'd like to comment about currently Mubbs is renting at YMCA, and I feel that because we have interacted with the clinic officer there, and she told me that currently the resources are not favorable and the workmanship to work in both places, it's not favorable at the moment.
Okay.
So currently we advise or to add on to, because YMCA is strategically located and nearby there is a pan-medical hospital. So I feel that the school administration can liaise with the pan-medical team to. Then sexual harassment, I feel that the school should preach high level of professionalism to lecture. I feel that they should engage more with them so that this act is not there. Plus, it also goes back to the parents.
These are hard realities. Sexual harassment, even if it's there, the one being committed against it, when you're not willing, it may not take a place. When you give it a room, I assure you it will take a place. Because for us who have grown up in town, you, Mr. Julius, you are aware that in Nairo Garden there is a man called, in the names you've understood, I'm not going to talk about that man who is into the other things. But have you ever been a part of him? So what I'm trying to say, even you as yourself, for us in the National Inter Platform, or we have a phrase that says, to whoever